This one I'm talking about because you know what y'all don't get. This was back in the day when it was really the rise of the Lycans, as I call it. And what I call the Lycans is the Jamaicans. You know what I mean? Like me, I'm a Jamaican, and I'm one of those Jamaicans that used to like get offended when my Jamaican family would call me a Yankee. Edley Shine. You know what I'm talking about, right?
I know it very well, Nikki Z.
Yo, I would cry. I would literally cry. I don't know about you, but I would get into arguments that were so severe because my family feel like because them flying from St. Elizabeth or them flying from Kingston, it just made them so much more Jamaican than me. And as a young buck growing up, to me, being Jamaican was everything in the East Coast. Like, it was everything. So for you to tell me I'm not Jamaican, me used to cry. I used to say, listen, you see a Chinese boy on the street, you don't say that he's a Yankee. He's still Chinese. Just because you don't see me as Jamaican. I would cry and scream that argument. Did you get that same thing?
I mean, yeah, with my family that come directly from Jamaica. But then, funny thing is, when I go to Jamaica, and I'll be around my cousins there and I start talking my patois. Yeah. They be like, you're going more Jamaican than me.
Than the Jamaicans, right? But I think it stems from the fact that when you do have a Jamaican family and then you are born overseas, it's almost as if you have to prove your Jamaicanness, right?
Absolutely. You know, and being in a group that was
born Jamaicans.
That was extra pressure.
Yeah, but I love the fact that you called them born Jamaicans because at that time you gave the rest of us Jamaicans something to bump fists about. And it was very powerful because there were a couple of you guys that came out during that era. We're talking the Bush Babies, Mad Lion, all of that stuff. Talk to Jamaica about what that era of music, not so much in Jamaica, but in New York, what was going on at that time?
I mean, it definitely was a cultural renaissance coming off of the groundbreaking breakthrough of dancehall with Shabba Rankin and Cabra and Patra and all that. Yeah. So it inspired the Jamaicans to kind of rise, and that hip hop, that reggae sound, that hip hop sound started. It always been there. Cause I remember you had Shinehead.
Yes.
You had Asher D and Daddy Freddie and all of these different. But there was never like a group that represented the youth on the streets that gave that sound and actually lived by it. And that was their whole image. And then came Born Jamaicans and kind of like set the standard for what it's become now.
Yeah. What was one of your favorite moments touring with Born Jamaicans? I mean, my favorite moment seeing you guys had to be one of the Brooklyn festivals, the carnival down the road. I remember being on the float with you guys and the Bush Babies, and I think it was Criss Cross that was on the float that year too. Right. Remember the girls literally started fighting because you guys were like putting the whistles in your mouth and flinging it out to the crowd. The girls was like beating each other down like, ah!
I vaguely remember that. My wife's in the background. I vaguely remember.
All right, you weren't one of them. You were the good boy. All right, wifey.
Yeah, I mean, it was a crazy time, man. And I can't say I just enjoyed touring. One of the best touring experience I had probably was going on the Reggae Sunsplash tour in Japan. You had Maxi Priest, you had Shinehead, you had Buju Banton, you had Beanie Man, you had all the luminaries from Jamaica, because you got to remember back then Jamaica was like the core, the epicenter. Absolutely. If you wasn't around certain artists and running a certain circle, you don't count. So just to be amongst those, it kind of gave us a nice validity and a nice vibes. And that was like an 80,000 person stadium in Japan. Watching the crowd. Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, Japan is always on another level. And now as we fast forward to 2022, just like so many other places, Japan has their own reggae and dancehall artists that are doing huge numbers right now. I mean, how stressful was it? Because it had to be somewhat stressful, I would think, you know, when you're in New York and you're still trying to do your music career, and then there's a point where you and Born Jamaicans as a group now separate, so you're doing Edley Shine different. And again, you're not in Jamaica, you're over there. What were some of the challenges that you faced when you started to take things on a solo tip?
I mean, the challenge is that one, you're not signed anymore. So that leverage that you have being a signed artist and having, multiple people pushing your agenda, that's removed. So you're kind of like left on your own and it's just all based on the relationships. So good thing I never mushed nobody con back then. I never brushed nobody gun angle. So I still had all my good relationships. And, it's different times now. It's the social media era. Music is consumed differently now. Back then you could drop an album and promote your album for 5 years. No, you got to drop a song every week. And
well, I mean, you don't got to, but I get what you mean. Yeah, you know what I mean? Because if one don't hit, you can't just spend too much time on the one. You have to just keep push.
Absolutely.
Unless you're like Baby Sham, because he don't care. Baby Sham will drop one song a year and go about his business, and
And I think I'm on that same program with him, because we're in a unique space coming from the '90s where it might not be in the hardcore dancehall arena. We get that homage and we get that respect. But when I go out in the world, when I'm in Colombia or I go to Africa, it's like I go back into a time capsule and I'm in the 90s.
I'm all up in that time capsule with y'all. I am preserving myself. I'm sorry. Right. I am all about the old school. Thursday is my favorite day right here on, of course, the Bridge 99. So I'm going to go into this song before we go into the new ones, because this is also one of my favorites. A lot of your songs I can't really play in the day. I don't have the edited version, so, I'm just saying.
Okay, I got to get that to you.
Yeah, you got to get me all the edited versions, I got to get all of them. Like, I kind of got warning sign, but even on the extra clean, I'm like,
We weren't that bad, but I feel you.
No, sir. Yeah, you stole, like, my good friend from me. Yeah, at the time, Norman was my good friend, but then as soon as he became Notch, it was like he was too famous.
I didn't know that. You guys were friends before the group.
You didn't know that? All these years later, you still didn't know that?
I did. I never knew that.
I love telling this story. Like, we were friends because our grandmas went to church together. So from we were young.
Yeah, he told me y'all family knew each other, but I didn't know he knew you before the group.
Yeah, man, way before the group. He used to sing Sweet Honey to me. I used to tell him to stop singing it. You're so nerdy. Like, stop. Stop singing.
I wrote that song when I was 17 in high school.
No, don't say that. I like to tell people it was written for me. Shh.
All right. It was written for Nikki.
That's why you busted a secret, son. What's wrong with you? No, but I love telling the story because you guys were on Arsenio Hall and I was so excited and I'm watching Arsenio Hall show and I'm calling Norman and I'm oh, I'm so excited. And he's like, you really can't call me as much anymore because we're on the road and we're busy. And I'm like, what? You know how Norman stay. You know Norman.
Yes, I do.
Norman versus Notch. I was just like, all right, I'm going to be a big star and show you. Then you going to have to call me, bro.
There you go.
Edley Shine is on the line. Now, I got a couple of new tracks for you. Tell me which one we should get into. I see Big Man Ting, Kiara Cover, Factory Skin, Babylon Breeze, Glow Party, Park Up. What we are going to get now?
For Jamaica, because y'all broadcasting, I would say play Big Man Ting. It's clean. I like the message.
I'm gonna go with the cleaner one.
I wrote that song for my daughter. She was just here. She just graduated from preschool today. So
I saw her. She's gorgeous. So
I'm a girl dad to the fullest.
Yeah. How does that work? Battling what's going on in music, because music is never a surety. It's always up, down, roller coaster ride. So how do you balance that as a dad?
I mean, one, don't quit your day job.
Never.
That's me. Personally, for the artist, that's 24 hours, 365 artists. God bless you and God go with you. I got my day job, and then on the weekends I turn into Superman and I fly out and I make sure I'm back here Monday morning for work, and that's just how that go. And then I'm just a dad. I'm just dad at home.
Has she ever seen any of your older videos, your daughter?
Yeah, she sees me. She's like, Dad, are you great? I was like, what you think? I think you're great. I was like, well, thank you. That means the world to me.
That's all that
as long
matters.
As you think I'm great, nothing else matters.
Nothing else. See, that is the celebrity formula. When you got people that love you and you understand that their love is more important than any fan love in the world, because fan love is fickle. Once you realize that, you're definitely on your big man team.
And the big vibe, reaching out. Yeah, man. Right now we are moved on a whole different mission. A new life, so I'm more ambition. Tell them it's a big man thing. We used to shell down the bar and be the life of the party, but now I gotta live for my shorty. Tell them it's a big man thing. We used to get enough gal and have them all in a bundle. Get my wife, now me have to live humble. Tell them it's a big man thing. Me know it hard for me link it them for understand. Me not broke the link, it's just a change of plan. On another journey, God have me right hand. Him a give me just a better foundation. And them a play Daddy house. Don't have no spouse, late at night them they home and them all alone. Computer and cell phone I put them to sleep. When a lifelong it we need. Right now we are move on a whole different mission. A new life, so I'm more ambition. Tell them it's a big man thing. We used to shell down the bar and be the life of the party, but now I gotta live for my shorty. Tell them it's a big man thing. We used to get enough gal and have them all in a bundle. Get my wife, now me have to live humble. Tell them it's a big man thing. Life changing an instant, we don't mean the gram. We take it as it come without no reservation. You live the fast life, do your thing, bad man. We are putting the word for the next generation. None of them are preaching a straight, life too sweet. One day me a pray, say the blind I go say. Lose with music, with culture, we identity. This don't look like dancehall to me. Right now we are moved on a whole different mission. A new life, so I'm more ambition. Tell them it's a big man thing. We used to shell down the bar and be the life of the party, but now I gotta live for my shorty. Tell them it's a big man thing.
It's a bridge. It's a big man thing with Edley Shine. Yeah. Where are you now? New York? Still in New York?
No, you know I was always from Washington D.C.
Oh, so. D.C. You're D.C. Yeah, I did know that.
Always lived. You know, we recorded in New York and we recorded in Jamaica back then. But I've always Washington, where me living on the Autobahn, Deutschland. So it's always been a D.C. thing. It's just home. It's where my family migrated from Jamaica when they first came up. They came to D.C. It was too much badness going on in New York, so they decided
too
to
much
settle
badness in New York. What do you mean?
Do you remember Brooklyn?
I do. I absolutely. Let me tell you, back in those days, I used to have some friends. I'm not gonna name no names that I used to hang out with all the time, and I had a great time. Like we used to rum up every club. Like we used to get them red bottoms before red bottoms was even a thing. I think you know who I'm talking about too. And then all of a sudden everybody started getting locked up and stuff, and then I see a big article in New York Times talking about them and somebody else gang war, and I'm like, wait, that was a gang I was hanging with? And you know exactly who I'm talking about too, and I'm sure most of them coming out now. Most of them actually getting out now, so you know.
It's funny seeing some of the old school cats from the 80s come back home in 2022 with social. You work that phone, you dog.
You know what I'm saying?
I want Instagram, my FaceTime, and TikTok, my Snapchat.
Wait, hold on. They actually pronounce them right when they talk to you, because they're still messing up every pronunciation when they talk to me.
It's the like talking to some of my uncles that just came home.
Yeah, that just came home.
I'm gonna just get you a flip phone and call it.
Go get them a beeper. Just get them a beeper. Nah, but it's a real deal, because a lot of them got locked up for ganja. It was ganja. Back in the day, so many of our brothers and sisters was locked up or even killed on the streets for ganja, something that is so legal now. And like I said, a lot of them that got locked up then, they got like 20 years or close to 30 years. So all of them are just now getting their freedom over these past couple of years and reacclimating into society. You know, and a lot of times they're jumping right back into music too. Why do you think that is?
Enough bad man in our music from day one, so you already know.
I'm done with you, Edley. I'm done with you. I'm so done with you. Where can people follow you and keep up to date when you're going to be moving on tour? And also, aside from tour, do you still do shows as Born Jamaicans or just Edley Shine?
Well, I do it as Edley Shine, and then under that, it'll say formerly of Born Jamaicans.
But you guys don't perform together anymore?
Nah, the last show we did was in 2018. We headlined a festival in Bogota, Colombia, and I actually haven't spoken to Norman since then. So
I'm gonna have to kick him in his patukas because I can already tell why. I love Norman, but he's stressful. He's stressful.
Just leave it alone, But yeah, I'm actually about to go on tour with Mad Lion. We're going to Colombia.
Say word with Mad Lion? I heard he opened up a restaurant. Is that true?
Yo, Mad Lion has dispensaries. He has Mad Lion's from Brooklyn, Flatbush.
Say word.
You think they have never taken money and invested in something?
Too many suckers and not enough time.
It might have been things. I'm gonna put it that way. He was the first Jamaican I seen with a legal dispensary in California, because I was out LA with him at the time when he opened the first one, and he was like, "Yo, Edley, this is going to revolutionize the whole industry, and it's going to become everything that's happening now." He told me this in 2003.
Yo, could you tell him to link us up? I need him on the show like ASAP.
Most definitely.
Oh, is that baby girl? Hi, baby girl.
Hi.
Congratulations on graduating preschool.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey,
I'm a monitor,
Stop telling her what to say. I'm talking to her. Stop telling her what to say, Daddy. Baby girl. When you watch your daddy on TV, does it make you feel proud? They can't. Yeah. They can't hear you shake your head. What's your favorite thing about your dad? Tell me your favorite thing about your dad.
Dad was
She's shy.
She's adorable. That's what she is.
Your dad is the greatest.
See, nope. You were telling her to say it. It doesn't count. All right, Edley Shine. Thank you so much for passing by. What's your social media? Tell everybody so they can follow you.
Everything is at Edley Shine. So Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat. We try our best to, maintain a presence online. Yeah. So just Edley Shine, EDLEYSHINE. So go stream the music, go follow me, go check it out. Catch me on Facebook. Facebook is like my barbershop. So I talk all type of crap on Facebook.
I love that.
Don't take it personally.
All right, well, make sure you follow him, you check him out. And if you ever pass by Notch's page, tell him, get it together and get on tour back. All right, that's what we need. I'm going to call him to him. Be like, Notch, what you doing? 90s. You better work it out. Work it out.
From your ears to God's.
Oh, it's going to happen. Anything I say happens. It is what it is. You know me, Edley, from back then till now. Anything I want, yes.
And big up to my PR, Flair. Thanks.
Yo, Flair Lindsay. Big up Flair Lindsay for sure.
That's been my PR for years. And, we've been in the game for a while now. So big R up.
All right, last words to you, Edley. Go ahead. Last words to you.
Yo, just big up the whole of Jamaica, big up Harborview, big up the whole Payne family, big up everybody, big up to all the Born Jamaican fans worldwide. I love you like cook food. Y'all keep me going. Thanks for keeping my publishing popping. I love y'all.
Bop, 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 bop.